Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another edition of BadgerBlitz TV. I'm Jay Kokorowski, senior writer at BadgerBlitz.com, your rivals.com destination for all things Wisconsin athletics on the recruiting trail, inside Camp Randall Stadium, and of course on the court of the Kohl Center. And we are here for another recruiting spotlight. I can't even call it weekly anymore. We've been doing so many per week, but we're talking to yet another state champion from Saguaro High School in Scottsdale, Arizona. We got Tristan Monday, defensive line commit for the Badgers. Tristan, man, thanks for coming on the show. Thanks for dealing with my technical difficulties on my end. A little bit of behind the curtain news there, but I appreciate you making time. And just how does it feel being a state champion?
Man, like I said, there's no better feeling in the world, and it feels good after having COVID last year to get it back for the seniors that had to graduate last year and to get this chance.
So, I mean, we talked about it a little bit before our technical difficulties here, but, azcentral.com, I think, called it out. I think I even saw it on social media. Besides being on defense, you got in on some tight end work there. If I'm not mistaken, you made a nice little catch there during the game, right?
Yeah, we have some different packages, and I came in on a trick play we had been working on throughout the week. It was a little fake toss where I lined up at tackle, got in a whole tackle stance, and it was a nice little pitch and catch and a good run after catch for 34 yards.
Excellent. So now, even before that, did I say that I saw like on social media too? Y'all, is it like a haka that you do before each game too?
Yeah. So both us and Chandler do the haka, and we wanted to do it facing each other. But if we do that, both coaches get a personal foul. So we decided to not face each other and do it at the stands. But there's a pretty big Polynesian culture here in Arizona, so our two teams have a pretty strong group of Polynesians on our team, and they wanted to carry their culture and trust us to carry it with them.
When it comes to the emotions of the game, what is the open division for that matter, where, for Arizona and just working your way through? How does Arizona High School work in terms of the playoffs and being crowned, champion in what's called the open division?
So the open division is the top 8 teams, no matter how big your school is. So our school's right at about 1,000 kids, whereas Chandler and Chandler Hamilton are at about 3,000. Oh, wow. But the way the open division is, it doesn't calculate for size of school, it calculates for the best team overall.
And then within that too, just I guess, so you're facing, Chandler and whatnot, and Wisconsin fans, I believe, know that too in terms of past recruiting battles that Wisconsin has been into. But what's the feeling? The clock's ticking down. You're going to be named state champion. What are the emotions? What are the thoughts rolling through your head when the seconds click, go down and you're going to be named champ?
We were in victory formation. I was on the field, and I was just staring at that clock, watching it hit 0 and thinking we finally did it.
Real quick too, going through and, looking at your stats and everything in terms of, you are a state champion now. No one can take that away from you. 3-star recruit, 5.6 rating by Rivals. You have 8 offers according to our service. A mix from the Pac-12 over to the Big 12 and even, the ACC with Arizona, Baylor, Florida State, Iowa State among them. You officially visited Wisconsin on the weekend of November 12th, and you're committed to UW in mid-November. I guess just looking at everything, even before getting to your recruiting journey, what jump do you feel you've made between your junior year and your senior year of high school?
I felt like I put a lot of work into the offseason because I was thinking there's no way I'm going out without winning a state championship. And I think part of that is what helped me land this UW offer and get to where I am now. And
within that, how did your high school use you on both sides? I know we talked about you being a tight end a little bit ago with that trick play, but how did your high school use you throughout your time, and just where do you feel your strengths are right now?
We play a 4-3 defense, so I've always just been a stand-up rush end, but Wisconsin sees me as more of a hand-in-the-ground, 5-shader, 4-eye defensive end.
And I was going to say with that too, in between your state title run and playoffs, did any of the Wisconsin staff get a chance to come in for an in-home visit in the past couple of weeks and talk to you at all?
So Coach Chryst and Coach K came down. We ended up going to a restaurant because I live about an hour away from my school. So, and they had to get to Vegas for an awards ceremony, like right up on a flight. But no, we went to a local restaurant. And it was a good time.
So, like, when it's that type of a visit, what's discussed? Is it, for those that have, 99.9% of us will never have an in-home visit. So, like, or even going out to a restaurant with your future head coach and your future position coach, what entails with it? What's being discussed? Is it football? Is it life? Is it everything?
I'd say it's a bit of everything. I mean, of course, it starts off with football, but once you kind of break the ice, then it kind of gets into the more personal things inside your life.
So how would you describe Paul Chryst and Ross Kolodziej in terms of talking about life and everything? How would you describe their conversation style?
Man, as far as Coach K goes, from what I've heard, he can be a little bit of a fiery coach on the field, but at home, he's a true family man. And he's been there. He's been to where I want to be. He's done that already, and I couldn't think of anyone else I'd rather learn from.
And then, we talked about you committing to Wisconsin in mid-November. So far, how have you started to bond with the other commits for this class? There's 13 scholarship commits, according to Rivals right now. Just how's the conversation been? How are you growing with your bond with your future Badger teammates?
We have a group chat. I'm not super, tight with them yet. I'm sure I will be sooner rather than later. But as of now, I've kind of just been coasting along. I talk to Miles a lot, I'd say, more than anyone.
How would you describe Miles for that matter, where, in terms of your future quarterback and whatnot, and himself a state champion as well?
I watched his highlights, and all I can say is he definitely deserved that Gatorade Player of the Year for Wisconsin.
We have, I guess, with this class, even with just your recruiting journey, have other schools even sniffed around checking in on you and just, your commitment status and whatnot? And as a commit, where you're having a lot of attention going back and forth, is it, tough, or how do you try to process, messages from other schools or whatnot?
Not having Twitter is kind of a big thing. You don't get as many of those messages as I used to when I did have Twitter. And before the UW offer, I got looks at from USC and UCLA, and I took a visit out to USC. But after I committed to Wisconsin, I took the visit up there. I told my head coach, this is where I want to be. I don't need any other recruiting. So I kind of just ignore everything else.
Well, what led to the Twitter, leaving Twitter and whatnot, which, I know there's so much with communication, trying to keep up with coaches or recruiting or whatnot, just, and plus there's so much, being honest, there's noise with social media, right? We all know that. But just what led to taking off Twitter?
To be honest, I have no idea. So the account actually got suspended. When I committed to UA, 4 or 5 other commits, the first ones, also got their Twitter suspended. As soon as we... Yeah, it's so weird, and I don't even know.
Gotcha. No worries. I was gonna say, when it comes to just with the staff and just with Wisconsin, how, I guess, even just the relationship. I know we talked about, in the past. I talked to you a couple of weeks ago once you committed, but how did the relationship with Wisconsin grow and develop over time? And then I remember you talking about it kind of resurrected, not so long ago.
Yeah, so Coach April was the first coach to ever truly show me love all the way back when I was a freshman. And then from there through quarantine, it kind of got pretty quiet because everything was messed up. But as of recently, Coach K came in. They see me more as a defensive end now, and I couldn't be happier.
Within that too, how hard was it being a recruit during the COVID-19 pandemic? It's still going on, but trying to the recruiting dead period that extended for up until this summer and whatnot. Just how hard was it trying to figure out what school you want to do? This is being such a long, big decision that'll affect you for years to come. Just how hard was it to navigate through the pandemic?
It was hard because you could always talk to coaches on the phone, but you couldn't get a feel for what they're like in person, or you couldn't go see them coach, or you couldn't even go to games. So all these unofficial visits that luckily the class of 23 and 24 are being able to take, the class of 22 never got that opportunity to go take those.
Gotcha. And within that too, I guess, how do you see what are your plans coming up for the early signing period? Are you signing then coming up, this upcoming week, and just what's going to be entailed with that in terms of any type of signing ceremony or whatnot?
So me and our left tackle, who's committed to Washington, will be signing the early period at 10 my time.
And then, we'll have some quick hitters here. We have a lot of fun with these with others. Have you, in terms of high school sports, have you played other high school sports? And if so, how have they helped you on the football field?
I played basketball since my freshman year. I'm playing again this year, and I've been on varsity since sophomore year, and I feel like it's really helped me with lateral speed and basically just overall athleticism on the court. It really transitions over well to the football field.
Now, when it comes to, as well, I've asked recruits this as well from the class. When you see the Badgers walking through the arch at Camp Randall Stadium before the game, they got the headphones on, they got the pregame music going. For you, for before a game, what music are you listening to get you pumped up for whichever game that you're about ready to take on?
I'm not gonna lie. Before this game, I kind of put on Jump Around in my car on the way to the game. No, but I don't really put headphones in. I kind of just block out the noise myself. I didn't wear headphones or listen to music all year. I kind of just go in my own corner and just think.
Gotcha. And when it comes to, it's the holiday season. What's your favorite holiday food right now?
Oh, that's tough. My dad smokes a brisket every year for Christmas, so I'm really looking forward to that.
Oh, that sounds delicious. I need tips because we're trying to figure out what we're going to do for our holiday. And I was thinking prime rib, but it was way too expensive for my blood on that. But yeah, brisket sounds delicious, man. When it comes to, you mentioned playing basketball this year. I take it then, will you enroll? Will you not head in during January, but you'll be in during the summer?
Yeah, I'll be in during the summer. I was originally going to enroll early, but I really wanted to experience everything about my senior year, go to senior year prom, have one last season of basketball before I leave. And
then last question for you. What can Wisconsin fans expect out of you once you do get up to Madison?
Man, I'm going to give you all I have, and I can promise you one thing. You will see him on that field freshman year.
There we go, folks. That's Tristan Monday, Wisconsin defensive line commit. We really appreciate you coming on this weekend, man. Looking forward to covering you once you do get up here to Madison coming up in just a few months. I know it's December, but the next few months are going to go quick.
I know.
Folks, thanks again to Tristan. Real quick, before we let you all go, make sure y'all go to subscribe, like this YouTube page. We're growing. We got so much cool interviews coming up going forward on this page. Also, like us on Facebook, Wisconsin Badgers on BadgerBlitz.com, and more. So y'all have a great start to the week. We'll have more here with the early signing period coming up on BadgerBlitz.com here on YouTube. Y'all take care.